Math. If just hearing the word sends shivers down your spine, you have clicked on the right video. It's time to face our fears head on and show math that this town ain't big enough for the two of us. Let's get this out of the way. You don't suck at math. Regardless of the problem, there are only 4 ways to, well, math. Adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. No, seriously. Every single mathematical problem will involve one or more of these operations. What does this mean for you? You can math with the best of them. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000,000 times. If you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide, you can achieve all your mathematical dreams. To begin, we shall start with the absolute basics, and I mean the absolute basics. That's right, we are going back to the days when you were first introduced to math. We are going back to elementary school, baby, because I don't care who you are. If you don't master the basics, you won't get very far. Let's start with addition. Unfortunately, you don't have any cupcakes. In other words, you have 0 cupcakes. But let's just say that you went to the bakery and bought yourself a much-deserved chocolate cupcake with sprinkles. How many cupcakes do you have now? Yes, you have 1 cupcake, which is better than 0 cupcakes, am I right? In mathematical terms, what did we do? Took the number 0 and added the number 1 to it. 0 plus 1. We started out with 0 cupcakes, and we were so very sad. But then we purchased a cupcake to end up with 1 cupcake. As a result, we are now much, much happier. But you know what's better than having 1 cupcake? Having 2 cupcakes. Well, our diet is already ruined for today, so why not add another cupcake? In order to have 2 cupcakes, we had to add, once again. We started out with 0 cupcakes. Then we bought a cupcake to end up with 1 cupcake. Then we added another cupcake to end up with 2 cupcakes. Let's add another. 2 cupcakes plus 1 cupcake equals 3 cupcakes. Because of the nature of addition, we can flip the numbers around and still arrive to the same answer. Let's say that you started out with 1 sweet, delicious cupcake, but then you went to the bakery, yet again, and this time, the bakery was having an irresistible sale. Buy 1 cupcake and get another one free. As a rational person, you obviously took advantage of this unbelievable sale and purchased 2 cupcakes. In mathematical terms, this translates to 1 cupcake plus 2 cupcakes equals 3 cupcakes. See, despite the journey being different, the final destination is still the same. You get the picture, and even though this may seem too simple for your well-developed brain, it's important to have a fundamental understanding of these mathematical operations as things get more complicated. Now let's talk about subtraction. So you have 3 cupcakes, and everything is just how it should be. But you do the inevitable. You eat one of those cupcakes, leaving you with 1 less cupcake than you had before. You were happy while eating the cupcake, but once the cupcake was completely consumed, you were left with only 2 cupcakes and sadness. How do you overcome this sadness? Well, you obviously eat another cupcake. Oh no, you have 1 cupcake left. Do you save it for later, or do you say the heck with it and devour it right now? Spoiler alert, you eat it now because life is too short to not eat all the cupcakes in front of you. And just like that, you are left with the following: 0 cupcakes and a whole lot of disappointment. Next up, we have multiplication. Don't let the different term fool you. Multiplication is just adding using the same number. Remember when you had 3 cupcakes? Ah, good times indeed. How did we get there with addition? 1 cupcake plus 1 cupcake plus 1 cupcake. Instead of adding, however, we can get the same result by multiplying. To do this, we must answer the question, how many times did we add a cupcake? Three times. 3 times 1 cupcake. We can also write it like this, 1 cupcake times 3. Yep, the answer is still 3. Fun fact, whenever you multiply any number by 1, the result is that number. Remember, multiplication is simply adding the same number. So when we multiply a number by 1, we are saying that there is only one of that number. Using the cupcake analogy yet again, imagine you have 15 cupcakes. Wow, that's a lot of cupcakes. Now let's say that you multiply those 15 cupcakes by 1. 15 cupcakes times 1. This means that we have only 1 15. Nobody ate a cupcake, but no one bought a cupcake either. Or we could have a situation in which you have 1 cupcake, which is a good place to start, but then you multiply that 1 cupcake by 15. In other words, we added 1 cupcake 15 times, which looks like this. See why we bother with multiplication? Instead of writing all of that, we simply write 1 cupcake times 15. For a grand total of 15 cupcakes. Now what happens when we multiply a number by 0? Using the same logic as before, this means that we take any number, let's just use 5, and add it 0 times. Here's how this looks mathematically. 5 times 0. Since we are adding 5 0 times, we have nothing, and in math, nothing translates to 0. 5 cupcakes times 0, which means that you have no cupcakes, I am sorry to say. We could even frame it this way, 0 times 5, or 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. Though we have written the problem differently, we still end up with the same answer. No matter how many times you add 0, you will always end up with 0. Finally, we have division, which is the inverse of multiplication. When we divide, we are asking ourselves the following question. How many times will one number go into another number? To word it differently, how many times can we multiply one number to get to another number? Let's take the number 10 and divide it by the number 2. What does this look like mathematically? 10 divided by 2. But what are we really trying to figure out here? What number can we multiply by 2 to get to 10? Oh, but wait, I hear you say. Isn't multiplication just repeated addition? Why, yes, it is. So yes, we want to determine the number we multiply by to get to 10. At the core, however, we are trying to answer the question, how many times can we add 2 to get a value of 10? Nothing more and nothing less. To figure this out, we could simply use our handy-dandy calculator. We are going to do this the old-fashioned way, darn it. I'm trying to illustrate a point here, after all. What is 10 divided by 2? Or how many times do we need to add the number 2? Well, let's see. Using cupcakes yet again, can't you tell that I got a thing for cupcakes? We could sort the cupcakes into groups of 2. How many cupcake groups do we need to have a total of 10 cupcakes? We have 5 2's total, which means that in order to get a value of 10, we have to add 2 5 times. In other words, 2 times 5 equals 10. This means that 10 divided by 2 equals 5. It takes 5 2's to get to 10. If the question were 10 divided by 5 instead, the answer would be different, but the process is still the same. 10 divided by 5 asks this question. How many times does 5 go into 10? Or, what number do we multiply by 5 to get to 10? In its simplest and most precise form, how many times do we add the number 5 to get to 10? Of course, we will illustrate this using cupcakes. This time, however, each group contains 5 cupcakes. And there you have it, the 4 main mathematical operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Once you master all 4, congratulations! You can solve literally any math problem given to you, no matter how complicated or impossible it may seem.